one.
Hi, fellow Australians. I'm going to give you some information that's completely droughted by the media and won't tell you. It's world recognised that Australia has the greatest farmers in the world, and we can produce more produce per acre than anyone else in the world. We can produce more food 365 days of the year of every variety and every quantity that the world requires, because the northern hemisphere is constrained by geographical problems with the snow and the wind and tornadoes, but we don't have that here. The only thing that stops us being in massive production is water. But per acre we can produce more than anyone. What started our great farming activities off was in 1841 when Hugh Victor Mackay invented the wheat harvester. And in 1940 it was successful, but wasn't as successful because when the wheat would fall over in the rain or wind, it wouldn't pick it up. Then another Australian, Albert Taylor, from down at Hendy, he perfected it, the combine harvester, where it could pick up, raise and lower it, and pick up all the grain that was fallen over or damaged with the wind or the rain. So that enabled us to be the forerunner for the rest of the world for food production. We can grow, in other countries they can only grow couple of types of grain. We can grow the lot. And just recently, in Tasmania and Victoria, this happened in the last 12 months, they've perfected a new strain of barley and corn. It's that pure and that good that in Tasmania, it's enabled the Tasmanians through the barley to win the first and second malt whisky competition of the world, and the corn is the same. Up at the Ord River, they can produce rice at a greater harvest than anyone else in the world. The Japanese came out here one year because they grow a rice that is a religious ritual, and they think they're the only ones that can grow it. When they went up there to see that, and could see how much poundage per acre we could grow here as opposed to what they could grow there, they were mortified. They couldn't believe that Australians could perfect it so well. Down the Murray Bridge irrigation area, a derivative of the Snowy Mountain scheme, the rice harvest, the fruit harvest, the wheat harvest, the sheep harvest, the cattle harvest. Per acre, no one else in the world can produce like it. There's only one thing stopping the full production is water. But what happened here, at the turn of after the Second World War, we had 250,000 farmers. In the mid-60s, with the bad drought, 40,000 lost their farms. In 85, because after the Lima Declaration, which is this document here, how we had to share our production with the rest of the world at the detriment of Australia. That was our agriculture and manufacturing. When our agriculture was producing full bore, everyone had employment because we produced the machinery that fortified the existence of our rural industry, like farming equipment, milking equipment, seed equipment, everything, tractors, a lot. I've experienced and seen where they did a British Motor Corporation up on Parramatta Road International Harvester, the Ford turn out there, Ferguson put their tractors together, and we were supplying the world. In the 50s we got a pound for wool. No one can grow wool like we can. They've exported our merinos, but they still can't produce it like we can. Our aqua fishing is the world leader. In Tasmania they produce mussels down there that no one else in the world can grow. They produce cherries down there, $1 each, nearly the size of a tennis ball. On King Island they produce some of the purest cheese you can get, the most succulent lamb you can get, and produce beef there that the rest of the world just can't believe how wonderful it is. We grow every type of potato that the world requires. The CSIRO and farmers perfected how we can defeat rust in wheat. We can grow wheat everywhere in this country, every day, somewhere, because of our climatic conditions. And if we watered Australia, we could supply the world with food, and we'd have abundance of employment and abundance of money. There's a couple of things that we've got to stop. We've got to stop all these trade arrangements and protect our farmers as everyone else does in the world. America has got internal and external protection, same as Europe and everyone else. They claim all these free trades are going to open it up. All it's going to open it up to is for the big fella to come over here and take us over. They're buying our land up, and they're not going to pay tax. And we'll do that in another segment, how that's crippling the farmers, not how the big companies not paying tax. I'll give you some figures. In 1960 to 2004. In 1960 we had 50,000 pork farmers. In 2004 it went down to 3,000. We had 70,000 dairy farmers, down to 11,000. 52,000 sheep farmers, down to 14,000. Reason being, these trade arrangements, how they imported stuff in and our farmers can't compete, and then they stopped us exporting to other countries because of these agreements. So they've done nothing to assist our farmers, they've done everything to cripple them. And there's a world food shortage, and we would be the food bowl of the world, because it's a pristine country with the purest soil in the world. We've got plenty of water. It's up the north, it's only got to come down. We'll discuss that in another segment, how Bradfield wanted to do it, and then Sir William Hudson wanted to do it. There's ample water, and our farmers are recognised all around the world, and the greatest food production per acre anywhere in the world, and we can produce everything. There's nothing we can't produce. Our fruit, our wheat, our beef, our sheep, our poultry, everything. No one can produce like us, and it is the backbone of the nation. We can have a mining boom, but that fluctuates. But people have got to have food every day. They've got to have clothing every day. And there's nothing in your house, on your person, or anywhere, originally, it doesn't come out of the ground. And being the purest country in the world, other countries have got disease, mad cow disease, etc., and apple blight and pear blight, and everything. We don't have it here. We're the seventh largest sugarcane exporters in the world, and that's diminished by 40%. Why? We imported sugarcane from Argentina, Mauritius and Brazil. Why did they do that? Oh, we've got to share the World Trade Article 28 of the Lima Declaration. The United Nations, a communist organisation that's after this one world government. And it's the socialistic communism. There's very little difference between socialistic communism and imperialism. Just give me that there. If people don't believe that the New World Order's not going, there's a document out of the Financial Review, January the 19th, 98. The New World Order. It's not my words. That's printed there. So if our governments watered Australia, and it's easy to do, we did the Snowy Mountain scheme. That was financed under the Commonwealth Bank Reserve Bank powers at 5/8 of 1%. The Transcontinental Railway was the same. Massive initiatives. And there's only one way you'll get a country going, is with massive initiative and production. And we can finance it using government bonds, not the banksters. The multinationals run by the United Nations International Monetary Fund. We've got our own wealth here. And we've got trillions in superannuation fund that are begging to be invested. There's a big international company that got the two urban freeways in Sydney, 100 million in a quarter. All that money should be coming back to the state to reinvigorate other infrastructure. If we water Australia, we have massive production, massive employment, our debt goes. And that's all we've got to do, because we've got the greatest people, and farmers are the greatest innovators in the world here. Everyone else in the world follows us. The fella in Victoria, a fella called John Rewalt, he's got this injection seeding. They said it wouldn't work. He's increased his production by 30% over and above everyone else. John Deere, the big American farming implement manufacturer, supply him with implements, tractors. And they say, if you can tell us how to improve our farming equipment, it'd be wonderful. Australia's got 23 million people, America's got 200 million. But they come to an Australian. Do you know why? What I said before. Our farmers are the greatest farmers and the greatest innovators, and there's proof positive of why.